The Princess Who Never Laughed. This is a Grimm Brothers story. Die Gebrüder Grimm aus Deutschland. Okay, so once there was a princess. Her father was very worried about her because she never laughed. She had never laughed in her whole life. And so he sent out a message saying, anyone who can make my daughter laugh, to that person I will give a crown and a golden throne, and he can marry my daughter. Well, I'd be the prince and king. People came from all over, men came from all over the kingdom, clowns, pranksters, joke tellers, funny people. They tried everything. And the story is amusing. They tried everything, but she never laughed. She just didn't find these things very funny. A boy named Peter was poor, lived out in the country a little bit. He heard the proclamation, and he thought, maybe I can make the princess laugh. So he went to town, went to the palace, but instead of going directly to the princess, he took his time. He asked for work, was given a job in the kitchen, where he would basically haul wood, as we say, fetch wood for the fire, and fetch water from the river for the cook. He kept this work up for a while, watching every day for any opportunity he might have to make the princess laugh. One day he had to go to the river to fetch some water. In the river, in his pail, he caught a large fish. Oh, interesting. Now he was on his way back to the palace when he met an old woman, mysterious old woman, and she was carrying a golden goose. He said, nice goose. She said, nice fish. Let's trade, she said. Why would I trade this nice fish for that golden goose? Because it has magical qualities. If anyone stops to pet this goose, and everyone wants to pet the goose, if you say magic words, that person will stick to the goose and not be able to work him or herself loose, remove his hand. Okay, if you teach me the magic words, I will make the trade. And the magic words are, if you'd like to come along, hang on. Okay, so he made the trade. Then, walking along with his magic goose, he saw a young girl. And the girl said, oh, what a beautiful goose. I'd like to pet him. No, you can't. She insisted. So she pet the goose, and so he, I think, experimenting, said, if you'd like to come along, hang on. Suddenly, she could not release her hand from that golden goose. So Peter walked on, the girl struggling, but having to stay with Peter. Second, her father, the girl's father, saw this and came up to them. Peter said to him, if you'd like to come along, hang on. And now he was stuck. I think not to the goose, but to his daughter. Because this is a chain. They can't all be attached to the goose. So he was stuck too. Then Peter saw a fiddler fiddling along. He was attracted to the goose too. So Peter said to him, if you'd like to come along, hang on. Suddenly he can't get loose either. This is beginning to look ridiculous. Then a gardener with his hoe and his rake, two unwieldy large tools, was attracted to the goose too. If you'd like to come along, hang on. Well, now this is getting ridiculous. A large crowd of people, all of them making noise. But the fiddler started to play. And as they entered the palace, everyone came out, almost everyone, to watch and dance and sing, because the music was very nice and people were happy, though the situation was certainly comical. Just then, the cook came out. She couldn't help it. She was carrying a bowl and a spoon, and she had some flour on her nose. The gardener said, "Look how ridiculous she looks." Oh, by the way, if you'd like to come along, hang on. So now she's stuck. "Look how ridiculous you look," said the gardener to the woman, the cook, with the flour on her nose. "Oh, ridiculous, huh?" She takes the spoon and hits the gardener. Now everyone is squabbling, everyone is shouting. Just then the princess came to her window and saw this scene, and it was so funny she started to smile, and Peter thought, she's going to laugh, it's just too funny. And suddenly she started laughing. She was laughing, and she laughed so hard tears came down her cheeks. The king himself came to the window and saw, and he found it so funny he too laughed. Now everyone was laughing, and they laughed so hard that I guess the spell was broken. In any case, they were loosened both from the spell and from each other, and everyone was okay. The king kept his word, gave Peter the crown and throne, made him the husband of the princess, and the two of them lived happily, of course, ever after.
The Princess Who Never Laughed. Number 1. Why was the king worried about his daughter? Number 2. What announcement did the king make? Number 3. Who was Peter? Number 4. What did Peter do at the castle? Number 5. What did the old woman want to trade her golden goose for? Number 6. Why was the golden goose special? Number 7. What were the magic words? Number 8. Who became stuck to the goose? Number 9. Why did people come outside of the palace? Number 10. Why did the gardener say the cook looked ridiculous? Number 11. What did the princess do when she came to her window? Number 12. How did the people become unattached from the goose? Number 13. How does the story end?